I feel like if I saw this movie in my childhood, I would have went bananas for it, you know what I'm saying? It's the exact same movie of E.T. I hated it. I did not like this movie. Everybody, welcome back to Movie Monday. Doing the same thing as last month where I tell you what I watched the previous month. Still testing the waters on this idea. If you like it, tell me in the comments or with your thumbs and I'll keep doing them. First movie is a movie I never even heard of, but it came out last year. I was in the library, I looked at their Just In section, and I saw this movie and I was kind of enticed, so I tried it. And that movie is Summerland. So this is a World War II movie. What I liked about this, for being a World War II film, is that most World War II movies take place in the really dark areas of World War II. They're either about the Holocaust or Jews hiding, the war itself, things like that. Whereas this is more like a regular folks at the time during the war, kind of. The main thing this film revolves around are two characters, Alice and Frank. Frank is an evacuee from London because of all the bombings over there.
Is this Miss Lamb, your new guardian? I don't want him. We've all got to do our bit.
And Alice just lives in the countryside, so this whole movie is just in the countryside. I love the visuals, the scenery in the movie. There's some other things going on, like Alice's love life.
Why don't you have a husband? Why don't you have a wife?
No spoilers, but the main premise of the movie is Alice's and Frank's relationship. She's just a woman who wants to be by herself and write her books.
I know you're busy writing your stories.
Academic theses.
They don't look very interesting.
I wrote them.
She has no interest in him.
I'm supposed to go to school.
Go on then.
Where is it?
But what gets them to start bonding is he takes an interest in the books she's writing, and of course, as we all would, oh, you're interested, let me tell you all about it.
Where's Summerland?
It's a myth.
Stories have to come from somewhere.
So basically she writes about floating islands in the sky, and he accuses that of being magical, and she's like, no, it is real and it is science, and for yada 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 reasons. And I was not expecting this to be a feature of the movie. And as someone who Castle in the Sky is her favorite Ghibli film, which is also about floating islands in the sky, I was like, yes! I was all for it! So that was an added thing that made me personally happy.
People like to have something to believe in.
Oh, one thing though, the kid Frank in this movie, every scene I was looking at him and I was like, he looks just like Eleven from Stranger Things Season 2. When she had the little afro, I could not see that. Did I say that right? The hair was like the same, even the eyes sometimes, even the clothes was kind of similar sometimes. So that was on my mind throughout the whole movie. But anyway, it was a cute film. Of course, in this World War II, there's some sad things in it, but it's not as sad as most World War II movies. So if that interests you, it's one to try, because it was a good movie. My one complaint is that we only find out what happens to the main characters. We don't find out what happened to the side characters. The girl he went to school with and her grandma. I wanted to know anything really, but no. So that's my only complaint. I would recommend it. I don't know why I never heard of it. Up next, let me see my list. So I've been in a super big festive Halloween mood this year. I like more than I usually am. So I've been real gung-ho, jumping the gun on Halloween. I've been trying to wait to watch the iconic Halloween movies till October. Something to just get my fix in for now. I watched a movie that's been on my shelf for years and years that I did see once before, but I don't really remember it. And that was Fun Size. I watched it this month because I don't remember liking this movie the first time I saw it. So I thought if anything I could just have it on in the background to start getting me in the Halloween spirit, because, you know, it takes place on Halloween, it has costumes.
All the lamos come to school in costumes.
And actually it wasn't as bad as I remembered it being. It was okay. It's not a masterpiece.
I really get all the hype about Aaron.
Well, A, he's gorgeous. And B, please refer to A.
But I remembered it just being awful. Yes, some of the humor is a little more raunchy than I prefer. It's not my kind of humor, but there wasn't as much of it as I remember, just a few spots here and there.
I did not have it.
So yeah, it was pretty cute and it did work in getting me geared up for Halloween. I keep seeing like my reflection in the lens and I keep going, what's that? Is that a ghost flying by? Oh no, it's my reflection. Okay. Speaking of fall, I watched 2 movies that take place in fall. One reason I've been in the spirit this year is because fall is my favorite season. I love all the colors, the cool looking weather, just the whole feel of fall. I love it so much. So naturally, movies that take place in fall, they make me feel all nice inside. And another thing I love is 90s movies. Both of those together just make me feel optimal happiness. So I watched 2. First one is another one I've seen before, but I never saw the beginning of it. I only saw the second half when it was on TV, put it on one day. And that is Stepmom. Yeah, I'm missing the first half of the movie. I didn't really miss much story-wise. It's a pretty straightforward story. These kids love their mom, they get a new stepmom.
I think I can handle it from here, Isabel.
They don't like her, and the mom wants to keep her relationship with her kids, and meanwhile the stepmom's trying her hardest to be a good stepmom.
Your whole life's happiness is wrapped up in you. You know every story, every wound.
Great movie. The kids were brattier than I remember.
Anna, what do you think?
Well, it kind of smells like you, and I'm allergic to you, too.
I was watching it and I was like, man, every person in this movie is so unreasonable.
You want to take a 12-year-old girl to a Pearl Jam concert on a school night?
Just thought it would be something nice that she and I could do together.
It's ridiculous.
Pearl Jam? Isn't my mom the coolest?
Except for the stepmom, but she was just dumb and making like stupid mistakes.
Anna, you forgot to wash my shirt. I told you 100 times.
Except for one that they all blamed her for that I didn't think was entirely her fault, but I won't get into all that right now. Anyway, it gets better and better. I love the fall aesthetic of the movie. I love just the 90s happiness charm that it gives me.
We're looking for somebody to do backup with us. Right, Marvin?
Yeah, Jamie. Oh my God.
Makes me cry. But it's a good movie. No spoilers, so we're moving on. Next 90s fall movie that I watched, I never seen this at all before. And that is October Sky. This was an amazing movie. I don't know why no one talks about it. It is so good. So yes, fall aesthetic. This one was mostly the 90s feel. I love that. I could make a whole video talking about why I love 90s movies. Anyway, speaking of types of movies I love, which makes this movie one of them, sports movies. I actually do not like sports, but I love sports movies. You know, movies like Rudy, Miracle, Soul Surfer. I'm blanking right now. I love a well-made, inspiring movie, especially if it's based on a true story. That just makes it all the better. And October Sky is based on a true story. So major kudo points. Just a movie to inspire you to go after what you love, no matter the circumstances, no matter what anyone else is saying.
What did he say to you? What did who say? Barbara! That was one of Barbara! You shook his hand!
It takes place in the 50s when we first touch space with Sputnik, and it inspires him to know that that's what he wants to do with his life.
Anywhere in the world, someone could look up and see exactly what I saw.
And it inspires him to start building rocket ships.
I'm gonna build a rocket.
Just don't blow yourself up.
Nah, should we get behind something?
You know, model ones that you blast out. And I love that his friends just go along with this. It's like, hey friends, I want to build a rocket ship. Okay, let's build rocket ships.
Nah.
And they all work hard to help him and do it with him.
6, 5.
Those are some true friends. I feel like if I told my friends, hey guys, I want to build rocket ships, they'd say, okay, have fun with that, Alex. They wouldn't devote their whole lives to building rocket ships with me. The four of them's friendship was a very cute aspect of it to me.
We gonna tell the railroad when they catch us prying up the track?
It's abandoned. You're saying this thing is worth $1.65?
It's abandoned.
The other aspect of this movie that was really good is his relationship with his father. Probably because it's based on a true story, but I loved that his father just wasn't a bad guy who was just, building rocket ships is stupid, you shouldn't do that.
Put all this nonsense behind you, Homer.
It isn't nonsense.
There's no career in that. Like, he wasn't just that character, there was more to him than that, and we see that in multiple scenes. He felt like a real person. Every person in this movie felt like an actual person, and not just a stereotype character. So the father-son aspect of this movie melted my heart. I love that so much.
Dr. Von Braun's a great scientist, but he isn't my hero.
And it was cute! I have to say, the character of the teacher, I was expecting her to have more screen time since her face is on the poster for the movie, just as big and right next to the main characters, and she wasn't. So that was just because she was the biggest named actor in the movie. Marketing, you know. I mean, I guess whatever helps, because no one's talking about this movie. It was really good, you should watch it. Next, I wanted to watch the only Studio Ghibli movie, or Ghibli if you're saying it the wrong way, that I've never seen before. I have seen every single one, except for this one. So I finally watched it, and that is Ocean Waves. I hated it. I did not like this movie. I never need to see it again. It was on my list of movies to get, but now I don't care if it's the only Ghibli movie I don't own. I did not like it. It's just about seeing these two high schoolers, the guy and a gal. And I found this movie frustrating to watch. The whole movie, the girl treats the guy like poo. I couldn't stand watching it. I felt bad for the guy. And of course, you know they're gonna end up together at the end. But then, spoiler alert, because I don't care anymore, we don't even really see that. How it ends, I'm going to tell you because it's not much of an ending. It's like years after high school has ended, he finally sees her again for the first time at the train station. We hear his thoughts of him saying, I liked her the whole time. Okay. And then, like, that's where it ends. They, like, make eye contact for the first time in years. You, like, know they're gonna get together, but you don't actually see that. And a movie that makes me suffer through the whole thing, I need to see the happiness. I know open-ended endings in movies are kind of debatable amongst people, but I say, a movie that makes me suffer, they better show me the happy ending. That's what I say. Not a fan. So this next movie is a movie I grew up watching the trailer for it my whole life, and I always said, oh, that looks like such a good movie, I want to see it so bad, and I could never find it anywhere. The library didn't have it, nobody had it. I finally found it. So I finally bought it on DVD, and of course after I did that I saw, oh, it's on YouTube for free. But that's okay, because I was like, I am for sure gonna like this movie. I am. Once it came in the mail, it just sat for a few days. I was too scared to watch it because I was like, I've built this movie up in my mind so much all these years. What if it's not as good as I think it's going to be? It was a good movie. The first half of the movie I was skeptical. Some of the acting was questionable.
Must have been a baby coon. Yeah, I bet that's what it was.
And you could kind of tell it was a pretty low budget movie. I think them filming, you know, mostly in nature and stuff in Canada, that kind of helped it make it look better. But the second half of the movie, I was in for it. I was like, this is a good movie. The second half made up for the first half. Not that the first half was bad, but I was judging. You know, it takes place in the early 1900s. This kid, he's dying to buy a pony. He wants a horse more than anything.
Why do you want that horse so bad? When you're riding a horse, you're off the ground. It's like you're free as a bird.
And he's having a rough time saving up money for it.
Take $50 for it.
75, not a penny less.
And monkeys go missing in the area. And of course there is a reward for if you can capture and return these monkeys.
You found the monkeys.
Yes, I'm telling the truth.
So that becomes his mission this summer, to get the reward money.
A lot of money.
It's enough to buy my pony.
Meanwhile, his sister was born with a crippled leg and needs surgery, which costs money.
Crop this year will pay for Daisy's operation.
And the ending was good. I even got slightly teary-eyed at the ending. It was so good. It was very much a feel-good, very sweet. I feel like if I saw this movie in my childhood, I would have went bananas for it, you know what I'm saying? I had one judgment. So in the movie, this huge rainstorm happens.
We haven't had a storm like this in a long time, and you know it.
And the next day, you know, they're looking at all the damage. Where I drew the line is I don't see a droplet of water anywhere. You look at the woods and the trees, nothing is wet. Everything looks dry as a bone. They had everything, you know, knocked over from the wind last night, but there was no water. Nothing was wet, but maybe that's just me nitpicking. Regardless, good movie. On a similar note, I watched another movie with the word summer in the title, and is about at least one monkey. Technically it was an ape. I watched A Summer to Remember. This is a mid-80s movie. Another one I saw once years ago. I didn't remember like anything about it. But since I watched Summer of the Monkeys, that kind of made me think of this movie for obvious reasons. It's not a cinematic masterpiece, but it's good. It's like the exact same story of E.T., the extraterrestrial, but with an orangutan instead of an alien. Both movies, the kids find said creature. They hide said creature. In E.T. they had him in the closet. In this movie they hide him in a treehouse. In both movies it's the brother that forms the relationship with creature.
Boy, I gotta get a camera.
It is the brother that lures the creature close by via food. In E.T. it was with Reese's Pieces. This movie it's bananas, because ape. The kids play and bond with the ape. Of course, adults find out. Bad guy adults get involved. Kids cry when the adults try to hurt them. It's the exact same movie of E.T. Even like in E.T., the kid rides a bike with the alien. In this movie, he rides some kind of little clown car or something instead. But one difference that I thought was interesting is in E.T., the boy teaches the alien to communicate, right? In this movie it's reversed. This is about a boy who is deaf, so he speaks in sign only. He's been selectively mute ever since he became deaf from meningitis, and no one can get him to talk again.
Toby will talk again.
He'll sign to talk, but he won't verbally talk.
Why don't you talk? Yes, you can. You can too. Even Dr. Trimble says so.
And the kicker is the ape can speak sign.
Sign more drink. Toby, this thing can talk.
So the kids are able to talk with this ape, which was really cute. They bond with him. It's adorable. And of course it's his relationship with this ape that finally gets him to start talking, which was beautiful. I thought that was a really cute twist, that it was kind of the other way around. The other aspect of the movie is these kids have a new stepfather that is actually a pretty good guy. I love how hard he tries. He's actually a really good character.
What are you looking at? Nothing. What do you mean nothing? What are you looking at?
He's trying so hard to just be a good stepfather.
Oh, Toby, come on now. Just give me a chance.
And in the end, it was him who encouraged Toby to talk to the ape. I have to say, though, for a movie that takes place in the summer, it gives me serious fall vibes. Not to revert back to that, but I think because of all the, like, wheat fields, and every character in this movie wears pants. They do. And it's supposed to be summer. Maybe it's my Florida brain. All the adults are wearing sweaters or flannels. Reminds me of fall. I don't know about you. Anyway, that's besides the point. Oh, one thing. They mention in the movie that the ape loves the Rubber Ducky song from Sesame Street.
The music to Sesame Street. She loves the record. Especially that Bert and Ernie song, I Love My Rubber Ducky.
And they never play it. We only hear the first song from the album, which is the main theme song.
Jeannie, if I hear Sesame Street one more time...
Maybe that was just me personally liking the Rubber Ducky song, but I thought for purposes of bringing it up we'd hear it, but no.
Give Bert and Ernie a try again tomorrow.
It's a cute movie. No one talks about it. You should. I have more movies I watched this month, but I think we'll stop there today. Let me know if you want to hear more, or if you want to hear next month's. If you want to hear anything movie related, I'm here for that. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, do all the thingies, and I'll see you next time.